Hello, I am Pamela Anderson of Bell Haven School. Course is REA 617. Teacher, Dr. Bonner, June 26, 2021. Hi. Today we will be applying key shifts in English language arts in the content area of French. Key shift 1. Regular practice with complex texts in their academic language. Key shift 1, challenging students to be able to read complex texts. The learner must be able to build their vocabulary and use words as context clues to help with the meaning of the selection. In addition, learners should show growth in their reading level over time, meaning if a student is a level 1, a student should try to get to a level 2. If a student is a level 2, a student should be progressing to a level 3. If a student is a level 3, a student should be progressing to a level 4. The standard calls for a staircase of increasing complexities so that all students are ready for the demands of college and career level reading no later than the end of high school. I would incorporate this into the lesson by presenting a unit on key figures in France. Students will learn how people such as Napoleon Bonaparte contribute to and shape France's history. The challenge will be having students that read on different levels. The complete text could be read by gifted learners. Gifted learners need minimal help. They can work on their own. They just need work to stimulate them and to foster their growth. The same text could be broken down into smaller parts for students that struggle with reading. These pupils can benefit from choosing their own text, working in groups. They can also use technology. The use of technology, they could listen to the text. They could read the text out loud. They could also visually see a particular play, visit the particular area that we be working on. They can see visualizations of Napoleon Bonaparte. Key shift, reading, writing, and speaking, grounded in evidence for both literary and informational texts. Students will follow the evidence here. Students can read and compare two texts. The information must be factual. Students can use prior knowledge to help draw inferences. The reading standard focuses on students' ability to read carefully, grasp information on arguments, ideas based on the evidence solely. Students could research, debate, and write an argumentative essay on America's food versus French food, or the U.S. government versus France's government. Students that struggle reading, writing, and speaking will work in their area of strength. If they write well but they don't like to speak, they can submit a video presentation. If they struggle with reading, I would also allow them to have extra time, scaffold a document that learners could work with a peer buddy. For students with challenges in writing, most of the time this is a ESL student, English second language. I've started them with a tier program where we'll build paragraph development by starting with one paragraph at a time until we can get to an essay. Key shift 3, building knowledge through content-rich nonfiction. It is vital for students to have extensive opportunities to build knowledge through text so that they can learn independently. Students will balance reading with informational text. The teacher will provide enriched reading selections and work with pupils to challenge them to be successful on their own. In this instance, the teacher is the facilitator. The teacher will walk around, prompt questions that will cause students to think about what they're reading, also give students additional questions that is not attached to the assignment, because most of the time students that have an assignment, they just read to find answers. But I find it a bit challenging to go back and to the text and pull out things that I think that they should know additionally. I would incorporate this in the classroom by letting students to research, debate, and write an argumentative essay. Students could read about different places in France. Students could could compare the culture, the language, and the landmarks. Additionally, students could compare and contrast the way other countries preserve landmarks like the Louvre Museum, as opposed to a lot of times over here in America, we tear down and rebuild. But when you look at places like the Louvre or the Opera Theatre, and you see that these places are hundreds of years old and they're being preserved. Sometimes students struggle because they lack prior knowledge. I had an assignment this week where we were working on standard RL 10.9, how the art to transform text. And we were talking about different mediums such as movies, books, plays. And one of the students said, well, I don't know what to write about. I don't watch TV. So I asked him, I said, well, what was the last thing you read? What was the last movie that you saw, even if it was something that you saw when you was younger? Was that medium was it a book before it was a movie, or was it a play to kind of help them out with their lesson? Students could additionally spend time, they could do some research on the subject. The teacher could also give them an assignment beforehand to let them go home since they don't have any prior knowledge on that subject matter. References: Key Shifts in the English Language Arts Common Core Standard Initiative 2019, called corestandards.org. Content area: reading, literacy, and learning across the curriculum, published by Pearson, Artis, Balka and Moraes. Thank you. This is my presentation.